Hi, I'm Mrs. Polen and I teach English here at TCTC, and I'm going to show you today how to annotate text. We annotate a lot in our classes and there's different ways to do it, but I wanted to show you the way that I have my students do this. So just a really quick overview of how to annotate text. And basically when you annotate text, you're reading with a purpose, because a lot of times when you're reading, you're just going through it really quickly and sometimes it just doesn't make sense, or you're not processing it correctly. So annotating is reading with reflection and purpose. So basically I've got the steps up here of how I have my students annotate. They have to create a new document in their Google Docs to type out the annotations. We use Google Docs for all of our documents in class. Then I ask them to pull out a quote, a word, an idea, or a concept from the text and retype it in its entirety. They have to type it exactly as they see it in the text. And they also have to cite it using correct MLA format. And then underneath the quote, I ask students to respond to the quote, the word, the idea, or the concept. Basically, did they agree with it? Did they disagree with it? Did it remind them of something? Did it make you think of something you've never thought of before? Or what are your thoughts about this particular quote or idea or concept? And the response should be at least 2 to 3 sentences long, no less. They can do more, but no less. So up here I've got an example of an annotation that I pulled from The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And this is a quote by the narrator, who is named Nick Carraway in the story. And he wrote this about himself. He said, "Reserving judgments is a matter of infinite hope. I am still a little afraid of missing something if I forget that, as my father snobbishly suggested. And I snobbishly repeat, a sense of the fundamental decencies is parceled out unequally at birth." And then I was trying to kind of explain what the quote meant to me, so I wrote, "Nick Carraway comes from a privileged background. However, his father stresses to him not to take this privilege for granted. His father realizes that being born into wealth is really just the luck of the draw and not a reason to feel better or above others." So again, this is just a way to annotate. There's different ways to do this. If I have my own book, I write right in the book, but typically students don't have their own copies of the book, so that's why I have them create their own document with these annotations in them. And that's how to annotate text.